with the usual suspect, the usual guest, Leon Anderson. Leon, how are you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Today I learned functions, or the beginning of functions, because I probably learned everything there is to functions. But yeah, this section was full of coding exercises. So in total, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. About 9 coding exercises in one session, which I like a lot. I didn't finish all of them yet. I had a long day of work and have
But
to.
it sounds like you're like touching your microphone constantly.
Is it better now?
Yeah, it's gone away. Perfect.
Okay. So I did 1, 2, 3, 5 coding exercises today, and I learned, yeah, basically what functions are and how to use arguments. So the difference between an argument and what was the other? An operator? No. Yes, I think it was called operator. What he compared it with. Let me check my notes. Parameter, yes, parameter versus argument. So the parameter is the string that you write into a function when you define the function, and the argument is the input that you actually put into the bracket when you use it, when you run the function, as far as I understood it. But yeah, it's the actual input is the argument then. Did I get that right? Because I was a bit vocabulary confused.
Yes, so many people refer to these two concepts interchangeably, but in general you're correct. Like if you're being very strict, then parameters is what you call the variables listed during the function definition, and the arguments are the actual values that you pass into the function when you call it.
Got it. Yes, that's good to know that I understood it correctly. And yeah, then we covered functions with multiple arguments. For example, adding two parameters, like an adding function or a multiplication function. And we also went and learned about the return keyword, which basically which can also stop loops, as far as I understood it, or at least it stops it stops the loop that it's in, and then you go into the next loop, as far as I understand.
Yes.
And at the same time, it also prints out the some of the inputs, or some of the data that you put behind return.
No, print it out. But no, even in order to print something out, you would need something like console log. And if you do it in the console, like in the browser console, then the browser console is just programmed in a way where it returns anything you write into it. I cannot show that on my screen share, unfortunately. But like in general, the return keyword does not cause printing out of anything.
Okay, yeah, then I understood that wrong. Like, what's the deal about the return then? Because we can use break. Could use break as well, couldn't we?
Break is only for loops. So return is basically when you call this function, whatever you put behind return, gets returned by the function. So that means let's say we want to save the result of our add function here in a variable, then we can do it like this. And because we are returning this value, now if we log out the result and say result, and we get a 5 here, then the thing is, if we leave out the return keyword, if we comment this line out, or like if we remove the return keyword like this, then it returns undefined because the function is no longer returning anything. So if you want to basically do something in a function that have access to that result of the function, you need the return keyword.
I'm not sure I got the last part.
Okay, so we create a function, right? We have our parameters, and we do something with the parameters. For example, we can add them, right? And what we can do is we have these parameters added here. Right now, nothing happens with them. Like we can save them in something here, but still nothing happens with this variable. This variable lives in the scope, but when
Okay,
this function is
so
done,
return puts it out of the scope, basically.
return basically hands this out of the function. Only the one return keyword per function, right? So the second return keyword is ignored because this return keyword basically closes the scope and passes the thing that's to the right to it to the left of wherever we call the function. So it was similar to like yesterday you used the prompt function.
What do you mean by left and right?
So what is to the right of the return keyword is the variable that gets passed to the left when we use the function. Right here we are using the function, so we can define a variable here, and using the equal operator, we can assign the value that kind of gets pushed out of this function into this variable. Right, because the result is fine.
Couldn't you just write const result equals sum?
No, because sum is only defined inside of this scope. When I try to access sum here, like that is not defined. Sum is not defined.
So if you put a function inside of a const, you don't have to write function. You only write the function name, basically.
No. This here, right, is calling the function with the arguments, right? We're passing in 2 as an argument and 3. It's kind of like in math where you had like a function f of x is equal to x, or f of x and y is equal to x of y, right? And then in math, you could say like, hey, that means f of 1 and 2 is equal to 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, right? And that is the exact same thing that we do here. We have our parameters. We use the plus operator to on these 2 parameters, so we add them, we save that result in a function, in a variable, and then we return that result from this function. Yes, and here what we're doing, but this is just the definition, right? Nothing's happening.
That's the definition, and down there we run the function.
Exactly, and here
that didn't come in the course yet.
Oh, okay, so you only define functions, but you have not called them yet.
Yeah.
Got it, okay.
I mean, we called them in a, we called them, but we didn't call them to const or to any variable. We called them without anything. So we basically just wrote add in brackets 2 or 3 without anything before or behind that.
Got it. And here, what I had in the beginning was just the return keyword immediately, right? I didn't even save the value in a variable because you don't need that. You can just return. You can have an expression. This is an expression to the left side, to the right side of the return keyword, and then the expression gets evaluated first, and whatever the result is of this expression then gets returned out of the function, basically, when you call it. And I want to show one more use case, which is sometimes functions without a return keyword make sense, right? Let's say we have a function but you only want to log out the result. Now, here we can see this is let me clear this one more time. So now we can see if we pass this code from top down. So first we define the function, then we call the function with 2 and 3. Because this function now gets executed, we knock out sum, which 2 plus 3 is 5. So we knock out 5 here. Then because we no longer have a return keyword, this function, every function, if it doesn't specify a return keyword, by default returns undefined. So we return undefined. Undefined gets written into the variable result. Now we log out result, which is undefined, which we have here. Yeah, that's basically what happens. And this was stuff that I called it before, but that's not relevant. So if we want to capture the sum again, we can do this. And now if we reload here, the result is 5.2 because now we pass out the result into this variable.
Got it. And for what use case does it make sense to not return the function? I mean, yeah, you can use the console log, but then it shows undefined if you use it afterwards, the function. So,
Yeah. So
are there use cases for using an undefined function result?
Well, this is a two-sided answer. So the kind of black and white answer is yes, there are use cases. Why it's not okay, let me not go too deep right now. Let's just say, yes, it's possible, and I'm going to show you something.
Yes.
So let's say we define the result here, right? And we say, hey, in the beginning, the result is null. And now in the function, we can modify the result. Right now it's crying about because we specified the variable with the name twice, right? But we can also have the function similar to yesterday, how we mutated the input in your program. We can also have a function that mutates an existing variable in the outer scope. Right? This function doesn't return anything, but whenever we call it, we change this result. So here we call it the first time. Now the result is 5. We log that out. Now we can call it again, maybe with 41 and 1. And if we now console log out the result second time, the result, then we get 42, right? So basically in this program, the program starts, result is 0. We define a function that takes in 2 parameters, adds those parameters, and then assigns that result to the outside scope result variable. Then we call the function with the arguments 2 and 3, which causes this result now when it executes to be 5. We log it out. Result is currently 5, so we get a 5 here. Then we call the add function again, this time with 41 and 1. So now 41 plus 1 is 42. We save 42 into the result. And now we log out the result another time, which is 42.
Got it. But who uses the console anyway? I don't understand the use of the console yet. Is it just for the programmer or?
Yeah. A user will never use the console, but it's like basically the program's way of inspecting your program. And you're going to use the console a lot in the future. So if you just kind of already pick it up subconsciously, and see some patterns, once code introduces you to it, really, then you'll also be able to use it. So it's good if you already get your first encounters with it because it's one of the most useful tools ever.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I think there is, what we could do is to go over the coding exercise that I'm doing right now, which I got stuck in. Or we could say I'll just keep on and we go over those tomorrow because today wasn't that time anyway.
I have time, so you decide if you want to really go into it, we can do it.
Yeah, maybe let's look into it. That could be interesting. Let me share the screen.
know when you're ready, and then I'll put it up into the stream.
I think you can put it up now.
Okay.
You can see it?
Yes, now everyone can see it.
Okay. Do I have to make it bigger or?
Yeah, let's do one more bigger if you can. Just one zoom.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, so what I didn't get was what so I have to write a function that turns an array, or that adds the numbers inside of an array to a sum. And what I didn't get is how to, like, I can't remember any case where I added the individual elements of an array together. I only remember cases where I printed them out after another, but I don't remember where I add each of others, each of them together. Yeah, I'm basically. I mean, I don't know what. Do you think that there, or do you know if that has been part of the course before, or because
Well, he did not obviously show you the solution before, but you have all the tools learned already to solve this, and you're
Okay.
actually pretty close. I can see that you're very close to solving it, but there's just, I think, one thinking mistake. Maybe it looks like it.
So I'm pretty sure that this is wrong, the plus I, because
Yes,
this only adds up 0 plus 1 plus 2.
exactly. Yes.
But I have no idea how to get the individual outputs of the, like, do I have
Of
to
course,
log them before, or?
you don't need to log anything. No, think about, do you remember the nested array and how we accessed each row in that nested array where we had the matrices?
Yeah, with there are different ways to do it. Doing nested. Oh, you mean nested loops or nested arrays? I mean, yeah, we use nested loops for nested arrays, right?
Yes, and it doesn't, like, the main thing that I wanted to hint at is, in the stuff that we did on stream, you access the elements of the array, right? And you only have to think about, how can you access the element of the array?
I know how to access them, but I don't know how to. I know how to print them out, but I don't know how to add them to each other.
Well, how would you print them out?
Okay. Now I put a statement out there. I have to prove it. How did that go again? Yeah, maybe that's just okay. So we had the loop running. Do we really need a nested loop for this? Because it's not a nested array, it's just a normal array.
Yes, you don't need nested loops.
Okay.
The only thing that you need to remember is how you access the elements of the array.
Okay. Okay, well, am I allowed to look in my formula collection?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, then give me a second.
Like, while you looked it up, I'm going to make a nice point for people. So if you ever in a coding interview, right, obviously there are some basics that you need to know. Maybe this would count, right? But keep in mind, we're in the 100 Days of Code challenge with Leon Anderson, and Leon has literally started coding 12 days ago. But the thing is, in the real world, you always have Google, and nowadays even ChatGPT, right? So you should always be able to allow to look stuff up, and especially in cases like this, right? It's totally fine to look stuff up, because in the real world, when you try to build whatever you're trying to build, you can also look stuff up. That is just a nice side. And it sounded like you've discovered something.
Yeah, I mean, let me just copy the whole thing inside of the code in here. But I'm not sure which parts I have to use of it. So I know that this one here is accessing, so seeding chart in this case would be the array element basically, and I would have to put a bracket behind, so to access to know which of the elements it is, but I don't know how I would add them up. It's not this, because that's just a log.
Don't
I guess
remember.
the rest is useless.
Yes. So the accessing of the array is exactly what you need. And in terms of like worrying about how to add them up, you can't remember that because that wasn't shown, right? You have to figure it out by thinking for yourself.
So, oh no, I have to put it inside, but change it first. Okay, and it's now in scope, and I probably make. Okay, now the question is if this is total or not, or if I have to use a different. How many consts do I have to use? R plus. Okay. Plus. I guess it's another loop of adding. Is it another loop inside of this?
Oh, you only need one loop.
Okay. Const element. This accesses a single element, right?
Yes. So let's say we have an array with the numbers 3, 4, and 9, right? What would this be in the first iteration?
3, 4, 9. So what do you mean in the first situation? So the first, so R of 0 would be 3, R of 1 would be 4, and R of 2 would be 9.
Exactly, yeah. And by iteration, I just mean like each iteration of the loop. But you answered it correctly, exactly. So now what you need to do is you need to add them up somehow.
It's a loop already. It's a loop already. So
You have your for loop there, right?
So now I have to total equals element, or let total be element plus Does it add automatically by going? No.
Where do you need to?
Add automatically.
Where do you need to define
element
the total?
Plus total. Element plus total, and I have to make constant total before that to 0. Is that right?
You're close.
Like this somehow. Makes sense.
You're close, but think about where do you want to where are you retiring total right now?
Where am I what?
where are you returning the total right now?
I'm returning it after the loop.
That's correct, exactly. And we want to return it there, right? Because after we've added everything, we want to return it. So what do you need to do to be able to access the total after the loop?
I have to define it here. No.
Where is here?
And after return, I have to element plus total here.
Well, that is outside of the scope of the for loop, right? So you don't have access to the element anymore.
Okay. What? Okay. But do I have to change something in here, or do I have to add something just?
So both the body of your for loop, there's too much, and you're missing something outside of the for loop too.
Maybe this needs to be outside of the loop. Needs to be defined before, and then it gets modified inside. It gets modified by this. And
well, now think about yesterday we talked about shadowing, right? So I will say, it's just, it was definitely good to move the total out of the for loop. However, line 3 is not completely correct yet. But the next problem that you also have is the problem of shadowing, which we discussed yesterday. Do you remember what it was? Or should I help you and give you a refresher?
Shadowing just in terms of that the out scope can't access the in scope and other way around.
No, shadowing was that when you define a variable with the same name. Yes, that's even better. And now there's only one more problem in line 3. But you could also run the test and see if it gives you an answer.
It has to be a let
exactly.
Because it needs to be updated.
Exactly.
Const element equals. But this needs to be a let too as well, because this changes with a different position in the array, doesn't it?
No, because the elements, the variables that you define inside of the loop get destroyed after each iteration, right?
Okay. At first, I thought you would say that the as long as this is the same, as long as the parameter is the same, it can still be a different output. Is that
no? If you were to modify element inside of the body of your for loop, then you would have to make it a let. But since we're only assigning it once and then we never change it again, it can be a const. So we think in this program that you have there right now, a variable named element will be defined 3 times if we put in an array with 3 numbers.
It runs first iteration, takes the 3 and adds it to 0. Then total gets returned, this gets updated to 3.
So no, total is not yet returned. But we haven't hit line 10 yet.
Yes, it doesn't get returned, but this one gets updated automatically.
Yes.
Okay. So this is 3 then it runs again on index 1. and so this is then 4, and then 4 plus 3 gets updated again. Then it's 7, and so on, and then finally it gets returned. Is that right?
Yeah, that's perfectly correct. So let's delete those numbers and then let's run the test and see if it works.
Huh.
Expected mom to equal. So something gets converted to another number. Oh, wait, are they calling it with a string maybe? So if you return the order of operations, if you put total plus element in line 7, what happens then?
You mean the other way around, or what?
No, it can't be. Wait, there must be a different bug.
You mean deleting this total, or?
No, that's definitely correct.
Okay.
Interesting.
Not a number. Well, where is that coming from?
Oh, aha. It's in line 4. And it has to do with the condition of your loop.
Is it this? No, it's not the equal sign.
It is, yeah.
It is about the equal sign?
Yeah, because right now it iterates for the first number, which in this test, for example, would be 10, the second number 10, the third number 10, and now the index is 3, but since we have the equal sign, 3 is equal to the array length, which is 3, so it also tries to access array 3, and array 3 is undefined. Now it tries to add undefined plus the total, so we get NaN, which stands for netted number.
Got it. Yeah, I like with the knowing if I should use the use an like the index and length thing sometimes confuses me. So like
it is confusing for everyone. Like literally anyone who knows the program, like no one gets while people started to count at 0 instead of 1.
Can I have 0 bread, please? Yeah, I mean 1.
Yes. So let's run the tests again and see if it works.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I think I would have probably been a bit frustrated doing this on my own. So that was pretty good. I'm
awesome.
I'm curious how the next where are they? The next test will go. But I guess that's a good cliffhanger for tomorrow.
I think so too. So nice. Today we covered functions, we covered the return keyword, and we even spoiled a little bit about console already, as we always do with these spoilers here. I hope that if anyone saw this, is encouraged, because when you learn to program, sometimes you struggle a bit and you overcome your struggles. And this was also another lesson of, even if you just do, in quote unquote, just, right? But even if you just do 5 lessons a day, 1 lesson a day, right? Just keep moving forward, keep up that programming habit, and find resources and mentors that can help you learn and that can help you on your journey. So when you get stuck like this, you also have someone that can help you out, So, and even if you don't have a mentor, even if you don't have access to anything, sometimes it also helps to just step away from the computer, maybe lie down, maybe walk around a little bit, and then come back to the problem, and boom, you will be able to solve it. So thank you everyone for watching. This has been the Code Call with
Leon Anderson and my mentor
Aleph Nil from 10x Dev. Until next time, see you.
Bye bye.